Good morning, welcome to Breakfast with Naga Munchetty and John Kay.
Our headlines. Good morning. It's Thursday, the 3rd of September. Our top story is the rising demand for coronavirus tests in some areas has led to appointments being rationed, and some people are being sent more than 100 miles from home to get a swab.
Yeah, the government says areas with fewer cases have had their capacity reduced in order to cope with outbreaks elsewhere. Well, from today, people in Scotland will have different travel quarantine rules from the rest of the UK.
So Scottish holidaymakers returning from Greece will now have to isolate for 14 days. This is after new measures came in this morning. Louisa Pilbeam can explain more. Eat your veg.
Eat your veg, 5 a day.
I'll tell you what, if The Rock says something's been a kick in the guts and it's bothered him, you know that it's serious, don't you?
And if The Rock tells you to do something, you do it.
Maybe.
6:10. Good morning, thanks for joining us on Breakfast today.
Some of the UK's biggest aviation bosses, including the heads of TUI and Heathrow, have told the BBC that they're frustrated with the government's handling of travel quarantines.
Yeah, they fear more industry jobs are going to be lost, and they say testing should have been brought in at airports to try to help save holidays and consumer confidence. Well, our transport correspondent Tom Burridge has been looking into this for us.
Well, it's been another week of quarantine questions, full of quarantine questions for both businesses and travellers.
Yeah, Nina's at Liverpool Airport this morning as holidaymakers head to Greece, not knowing if they'll have to self-isolate when they return to England. But of course, it's a different story in other parts of the UK, in Scotland this morning. Hi, Nina. What are people saying as they head off to the sun? Yeah, Nina, thanks very much indeed. We're going to be speaking to the Health Secretary for England, Matt Hancock, a bit later as well, and asking him about this testing, whether you should have testing at airports, what the implications are, people coming back from Greece and stuff as well. So do get in touch with us this morning in the usual ways.
17 minutes past 6 is the time. Let's take a look at the papers. And we'll start with your parenting or your children. 28 miles an hour is fast.
Or my willingness to pay the insurance policy, probably. I mean,
probably. That would
be you want a 14-year-old kid? I don't know. No, it seems very young.
No, I wouldn't. I know what I was like when I was a 17-year-old driver, and I'm not sure I was completely safe then. I did say biscuits. Yeah, I'm all right now. Biscuits. What is your favourite biscuit, John?
It's got to be the Garibaldi. Is there another?
Oh, no. Yeah, no, I'm a malted milk.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, or
it's
a dark
boring,
chocolate.
Isn't it?
Pardon?
I had you for a
Garibaldi swinging from the light shades.
It's got little sultanas in it. It's got a bit of a kick.
They're not real. They're not real. A malted milk.
Not real.
But the malted milk's for everyone. Anyway, this thing, I think I'd love to hear from people this morning about their favourite biscuits, because apparently it says something about looking at these biscuits. This is what I'm going to be kind of obsessed with this morning. If you like a Jaffa cake, and I love a Jaffa cake, although I like a certain type of Jaffa cake.
There's only one type of Jaffa
cake. No. There are many types of Jaffa cakes. But if you like a Jaffa cake, guess what? Your personality. Guess what it says about your personality?
What does it say?
Insecure.
Really?
Yeah. Well, there's the whole argument whether it's cake or biscuit.
It's too many things. It's a bit of fruit. It's a bit of chocolate.
Yeah. It means that you lightly enjoy things which make you feel comforted and secure. Yes. Why wouldn't you like something that makes you comforted and secure?
I am desperate for a biscuit.
I need a Jaffa cake.
Can we have some biscuits? 23 minutes past 6. Let's talk a slightly more healthy food, shall we? Because during lockdown, lots of us spent more time in our gardens and started growing fruit and veg for the first time. You might have grown some tomatoes in a pot or a fruit bag or something like that. But one woman in Northumberland had such an abundance of produce at the end of all this that she's decided to help other people.
She began to donate to a fresh food bank, which helps families across the country. And now more than 200 home growers are taking part. Alison Freeman has the story.
It's going to be quite a harvest festival this year, isn't it? You were saying that you got some from a neighbour,
yeah, some friends gave me some fabulous tomatoes. Yeah. I mean, they taste, no offence to, I try to buy really good tomatoes if I can, but they taste just completely different.
And your bags are full of malted milk, so you can't squeeze any veg.
Chocolate digestives and Jaffa cakes.
Yeah. Enjoy growing and producing. Lots of people enjoying that this year. Thanks for that.
Still to come on Breakfast. Now, the parents of Charlie...
Hello there, good morning. This is Breakfast with Naga Munchetty and John Kay.
Good morning to you. 6:31 is the time. All the latest news and sport coming up, but loads on the program.
Good morning. Here's a summary of today's main stories from BBC News. And the rising demand for coronavirus tests has led to appointments being rationed in some places and some people being sent more than 100 miles away from home to get a swab.
Now, The Russian government has denied accusations that its opposition leader, Alexei Navalny, was attacked with a nerve agent last month.
Here, the health secretary a little bit later, and put some of those points to him, particularly about testing and what the government's planning, and that whole issue about capacity.
I'm still obsessed with biscuits. I just thought I'd say.
More importantly,
as we were talking about what your favourite Bicky says about you, Richard's got in touch. He's really upset in this piece. This piece is in The Sun this morning, and there's no Rich tea biscuit. The classic dunker.
I'd have thought that was one of the top
It's not in there.
3 biscuits.
It's not in there. The digestive is predictable, it says about you. I'm just wondering that if you're in negotiations, yeah, tense negotiations, and you think, OK, well, let's have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee and a biscuit, what would you put on the table? Because I'm thinking about this because there's this whole debate about Lionel Messi and whether he will stay or whether he'll go. Kat's looking at this morning. Morning, Kat. Come on, name the biscuit of negotiation.
It's got to be a